So, what's the average rent in Germantown? What do you think? Yell out some rents for me. 15, 17, 18. Let's use, I need you to put 1,800 in your calculator. All right? Yeah. So multiply that by 12. So in 1 year, how much are you paying in rent? So let's assume your rent never goes up and you live there 5 years. Multiply that number by 5. I'm gonna let that marinate a little bit. How much? $108,000 in rent in 5 years. Think about that. So now you do your own numbers. You're gonna yell them out, that's fine, we all family. We all family here. But $108,000 in 5 years of paying rent. I remember meeting a family at a workshop like this, and a young man said to me, well, Irv, I can't afford a mortgage. I said, well, do you pay rent every month? He said, yeah. I said, you're paying your landlord's mortgage, plus the profit. There is not a landlord out here, they're investors. They want to make money. You're paying their kids' student loans. Their kids don't need student loans. So if I'm a landlord and my mortgage is $1,000, I'm gonna charge you $1,800. So I make $800 every month. Thank you very much. All right, so I just want to, and I start off my classes like that all the time. Just to this is what you're here for. You want to get out of that rut. And when you get home, do your own numbers. Calculate how much rent you've paid in the last 5 years. And then, if you want to yell it out, that's fine. But I think that's why we're here, and that's why we want to figure out how to get out of that rut. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I did a mortgage on a couple who bought a home in North Philly, where I was born and raised. Small little home. It was $160. Their rent was $1,800 a month, where they were living in North Philly. Their new mortgage was $1,200 a month. I remember they walked out of that closing so happy. And because of the grants that Dana talked about, because of money from TD Bank, they needed $750 to close on their mortgage. Now you tell me where you can rent and only pay $750 to get into that building to rent. Unless you're gonna live with mama and sleep in the same bed you slept in when you was 8 years old. That ain't gonna happen. So that's why we're here. All right, so it won't connect to here. Okay. All right, that's fine. I'll prompt him. All right, so again, my name is Irvin Brockington. I am a community mortgage loan officer with TD Bank. I've been doing mortgage loan with first-time home buyers for 20 plus years. I got to thank my friend, and I call him my friend, State Senator Art Haywood. I thank you very much for putting this together. Art and I have had many conversations about this particular issue. I am adamant about making people homeowners. If it's something you want to do, it's something you can do. And I'm going to repeat that. If it's something that you want to do, there is something that you can do. If you need to fix your credit, you broke it, you fix it. I ain't break it. You ain't buy nothing from me. So if you broke it, you fix it. Now that may sound simple, and for some it will be simple. For some it will be more complicated. But you got to keep taking those steps to do it. Remember, 5 years, $108,000. Just remember that. So the way I'm going to do this, and you're going to probably have to stop me because I'll keep talking.
So Tyron's going to wave you, Irv.
Oh, I ignore him all the time. So if you have a question, I'm here to talk about the mortgage side, what the lender is looking for. How can you get from this point to the point of going to closing? So tell me, and I'm going to ask you guys to participate. What's the difference between renting a home and owning a home? Just raise your hand, yell it out. I don't care. What? All right, say that again. All right, some places you don't, but it's included in your rent though. See, people think, oh, I'm not paying gas, not paying water, I'm not paying this. Yeah, you are. You're just not writing 3 separate checks. You're just writing one. It's called rent. So again, your landlord's not going to pay your rent. You pay your water. He's not going to pay your electric. He's not going to pay your gas. There's not a landlord out here that's going to do that. Go ahead. What do you think the difference between owning and renting? You have more responsibilities. I just told someone out there, you're not grown to your own. So yeah, there's a little bit more responsibility. But the thing is, it's your responsibility. How many of us have waited for a landlord for weeks to fix something and it doesn't get fixed? Or a year. Or it just kind of floats out there and it's still out there. So yeah, it's your responsibility, and you will probably be more responsible because you don't want to live that way. The landlord's not living there, so he's not caring. So what do you guys think some of the other, is there a tax benefit to renting? There's none. Owning a home, there's a tax benefit. The interest rate from your mortgage, for a lot of people, can be written off on your taxes. People probably didn't know that. So that's one of the tax benefits of owning a home. Okay, how am I going up and down on this? Where am I at? Okay. So they talked about your credit. So on the mortgage side, we have 3 things that you need. You gotta have credit, you gotta have income, and you gotta have some assets, meaning you're gonna have to have some money. Not a lot, especially if you're doing the grants. So you gotta have credit. As Dana said, every lender is going to have different credit criteria. She said 640, TD Bank is 620. I used to work for Citizens, it was 640. So every bank. So when you talk to your lender, there's a couple questions I'm going to want you guys to ask your lender. When you pick your lender, you got to act like you're interviewing them for a job. All right? Because I work for you. So you're my boss. So you got to interview me. You want to say, I'm a first-time home buyer. What's your minimum credit score? They should be able to answer that. All right? Do you participate in any of the grant programs that are available here in the city of Philadelphia? Yes or no? Do you have any programs for first-time home buyers? Yes or no? Now, when you start asking a lender that, they know that person knows a little bit of something. And you should be able to know a little bit of something. And that's why you have to attend a first-time home buyer workshop. With Mr. Brown, that was in here, with Dana Frisbee, you have to, for a couple reasons. You're not going to get any grants unless you complete a first-time home buyer workshop. All the grants that are available out there, if you come to me and say, Irv, I heard you guys have money, I'm going to say, did you go to first-time home buyer workshop? Yeah, show me your certificate. Oh, I didn't finish. You have to do that. And every lender that's here is probably going to say, if they have any special programs, they're going to want to see that you went to a first-time home buyer workshop. And as a first-time home buyer, you should attend. You know why? Because you don't know what you don't know. And I'm going to repeat that. You don't know what you don't know if you're a first-time home buyer. So the counselors, they're there to guide you. If you think your lender is giving you a piece of paper you don't understand, you call your counselor. Hey, my lender, they said something. Is this true? You call your counselor. You have an advocate. So everyone in here, if you're looking to purchase your home, and you should be, you make sure you sign up today before you leave with Mount Airy USA, Northwest Counseling. Those are the 2 that I know that are out here. That's really important for first-time home buyers to do that. Let's talk about down payment. or how much you can afford. I get that question all the time. How much money do I need to buy a home? How much? And that answer is going to be different for everybody in this room because everybody is buying at a different price point.